Hello. I think we're live. It's going to take a minute. Got to turn the sound down here. Let's see. Who do we got on the side? Vanessa Kitty, Ashley, Tactical Fudd, the typical early birds. Good to see you guys. Crazy weekend, isn't it? Oh.
Well, it depends on what you call crazy and where you are.
Well, it's just crazy. Lead mining is here. For one, I want to say congratulations, Kyle. He got married today or tonight. So he's either married by now or they're just getting, I don't know what time.
Yeah.
So congratulations, Kyle.
Yep.
Now you're an honest man.
Maybe.
So, man, I just hit this. Sorry, I was out in the garage, but what's with the barges going down, taking out bridges? Are they trying to get new bridges all of a sudden because Brandon has free money for everyone that comes from our tax dollars? What?
They're making us watch, watch what the left hand's doing, not the right.
Yeah. Reloader 762 is here. Yeah, I find it odd. Even my wife said, maybe they're trying to get new bridges because I think, wasn't there one in New York and then Ohio River where 8 barges went down? Most of them were full of stuff. All but 2, I think.
Well, the one that just had this 26 barges, they said 4 of them were empty. The rest were full cargoed. I was just watching it while I was waiting for you to come on.
Yeah. And that is in Pennsylvania, right?
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. And then I heard there was one in New York somewhere where a barge got free.
Yeah, but that didn't cause any problem.
I know, but don't you find this strange?
Oh, yeah.
After the bridge thing, and they're getting full money, hey, we'll pay for it, no problem. All of a sudden, it's like, hey, where's all our bad bridges around here? Let's let loose on the barges. Fuzzy is here. There's a conspiracy guy. Well, not a conspiracy guy, but Fuzzy knows. All right, I have someone trying to get on here called Tony and Melissa, but it looks like David to me. Looks like David, but someone has to reply on the side now because we had problems. Oh, one guy is here.
Welcome in, everyone.
Yeah, so good to see everybody. I guess the number one question is, did you shoot the Rossi?
Yeah, you've been in the New York weather? You think you had bad weather?
We've had good weather.
We had 50-mile-an-hour winds yesterday.
We had a windy day, yeah.
30-mile-an-hour winds today.
Yeah.
With some rain.
Yeah, but no wind, no Gulf. So
no. Tomorrow is an unfortunate day. I could go, but it's going to be breezy. They're saying 15 to 20-mile-an-hour winds, and it's blowing across the direction it's coming. It's blowing sideways, so it's not going to do much for my accuracy.
Okay, so you didn't.
Nope.
Cranky is here. Hey, Cranky. Good to see you. Let me put a link down here in case.
Yeah, well, if you didn't catch it, they did the drone strike earlier this afternoon, New York time. Okay,
yeah, you have Iran attacking Israel. Have they been hitting them?
The news that I caught so far hasn't said much, other than that we're sending ships.
We already have ships down there, and I'm sure a few subs. I don't know. Israel knew it was coming, so I'm sure they're ready for that. They knew Iran was going to get in the mix, so especially after they deposited a few things. So yeah, tacos and French fries is here.
No, Israel took out like 6 of their people or something, whatever it was.
Yeah. So we knew that was going to happen. It's total mayhem. Every time you think, can we have a month where stuff isn't stupid and weird? No, it gets worse every time.
I got to save my ammo for now.
Yeah, we talk about weather. We had some wind, but then we had warm weather. I changed targets, fixed the swinger, did a whole video on that. Sprayed a peat out lower, did a video on that. Pressure wash, did a video on that. And then didn't feel like doing nothing. So I think I'm just going to cobble all those together on high speed, do a 5-minute video on all of those, and just get them off my phone. All right. Collected bullets, Easter egg hunt, the first annual what's under the snow type deal. 6-shooter Texan is here.
Yeah, so, well,
it's nice out here. It's summer.
No, well, let's see. We're at 49 degrees right now. Hold on, I'm going to open this up. 12 to 15 mile an hour winds and occasional drizzle.
I'll tell you what, we went out. Our swinger was so badly, the straps were so shot up. I got ice in my mouth. The sun fixed that, and we painted it white. Usually it's black during the winter, so you can see black on white snow. We painted it white. However, there's still a big mound of snow behind it. And I thought, well, that'll melt in a day or so. And sure enough, next day, boom, we could see that target like, bam, the moon. So that worked out.
They're painted with fluorescent white paint. It really shine.
Yeah, I just do white against the dirt, black against the snow, and that huge. I mean, I sunk up to my and what's funny is all the dirt that is not snow is dry, and all the bullets just popped up. We were picking up so many 22 bullets with mushrooms, and of course powder coated bullets. But it turned out great because that big mound right behind it is gone now, and everything is crystal.
Oh, yeah. And another thing about shooting the zinc bullets, you'll be able to pick them out separately, too, because they're not powder coated.
You can just reshoot them.
But they're not powder coated, so they'll stand out, too. They'll be the silver ones.
No, I found a bunch where the jackets left the bullets, 308 and 223 and
yeah, but the zinc doesn't have that problem. It either breaks in half or a chip of it, but most of the bullet will be intact.
I'm going to shoot zinc in its own area, so anything over there is zinc.
Oh, yeah. I got another box, 43.5 pounds. Another box off of me, wee guy.
Okay, Cranky's got to go. Take care, Cranky.
Take care, Cranky.
Yeah, I one of my projects was to sort through wheel weights to get you zinc, and I didn't get to that.
Not worried about it.
It's like I had energy and did all kinds of stuff in one day, and then the next day I didn't feel like doing anything. I just had no energy. That's how it's been. So I don't know what's causing that.
Yeah, waiting to see Michael Hartnett come on tonight if he does. He got his box, so let's see what he
yeah
about it.
He usually comes on around this time. Yeah.
So he got the .224 33 grain zinc pointed bullets. That's an oddball mold that I bought it for the hell of it because of CW. Thinking, man, that's a cool looking bullet just to have it. And it shoots out of the 223, no problem. I mean, I'm not shooting high velocity stuff. I'm doing that mostly in my bolts. So it's, low end, 6 grains of powder type thing. And it was pretty damn accurate without even working up a load for it.
Gunswatter is here. Hey, Gunswatter. Yeah, I'm curious to see what Hurtneck comes up for a load and powder on.
Well, I just got to make sure. I just got to make sure he understands how to load the zinc. That's all.
Yeah, and he's doing a 5.7 by 2.8, right?
Yeah, but he's also got 3 in a blackout and 357 and 9mm. So.
Oh, okay.
So he just got to understand how to load it. Just load it to the bullet length. On the 5.7, you're going to have to figure out your length because of the size of the bullet, the shape of the bullet.
Yeah.
Okay. But overall length of the bullet you're loading, and powder wise, go down it to bullet in that powder weight. Start in the middle and make your load.
Well, that's the tricky part.
Well, you just start in the middle of that bullet range with the powder you want.
Yeah, but that's the tricky part on 5.7 because 5.7's tricky.
Well,
probably.
Yeah, but the 5.7, don't they have like a 30-grain bullet?
They have 35.
Okay, so there's only 2 grains less, so you're going to be right there.
Yeah, and it's going to be a volume thing anyway, because of the pressure of the 5.7. So I would stick to the heavier bullet data on that because the bullet is huge anyway. So
yeah,
it's the volume pressure thing more than a weight thing.
Well, again, this is 48 grains in lead.
Mm-hmm.
So it is longer, but it's a very pointed bullet, so it should chamber no problem at a longer length. Well,
and they feed pretty good because it's bottleneck cartridge, so it doesn't have to go up a ramp. It's kind of feeds easy. So never had a feeding problem with 5.7. Anyway, that should be interesting. And yeah, that will zip along.
Well, once you got it working, and if you can chrono it, so you go out there and go, okay, I got plenty of room, and you can, based on the volume in the cartridge. But I don't know what powders are really used in the 5.7, so it's how fast they are or whatnot. So I mean, if you can use tight group, you'll be screaming.
True Blue is really good in it.
Okay.
Accurate number 5. There's a few really good powders for that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what you're doing with that, so I mean, Michael Hartneck. I just want to make sure he starts in the right, understands how to load zinc. That's all.
Yeah.
I don't want him to have a problem in any way.
Mm-hmm. Should be fun.
But I said, just anybody out there reloading, load. Get your stockpile up. You may need it.
Yeah, bring on November and see what happens.
That's if something don't happen before then. There's all kinds of shit talk about, strike on U.S. soil from within.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, New York City is, if there's traffic, an hour away. So I'm not that far from all the bullshit.
Yeah, the problem with the cities is if there's panic, you can forget about the freeways and roads and stores and everything. But if you're out in the country, it's a lot more slack.
Yeah, it's different. But I mean, Long Island doesn't have 50-story, 80-story apartment complexes, so we don't have that tight combustion there. I mean,
Yeah.
single family houses 60 feet apart from each other.
Yeah.
We got plenty of those. So I mean, anything going down on Long Island would have to be a larger crowd of people doing it to do anything major in an area. But yeah, seriously though, it's getting closer to Long Island every day. I mean, they're in the Bronx, they're in Queens. There's all this migrant stuff, and it's getting pretty bad. So. And there ain't much I can do about where I am, so I just making sure I'm prepped.
Definitely. Especially food and water, ammo. Everyone should have plenty of food and water and ammo. Can you guys hear the printer? Is there any background noise?
I don't hear anything.
Okay, good. Because it's a little louder than normal. My son's doing a computer box thing, a miniature thing on the printer, and I noticed it's a little louder, so I didn't know if you guys hear it or not. Okay. All right. Thanks, Vanessa. Thanks, Gunswater. Brokloader's here. Hey, good to see Broke. Good to see Brokloader. Yeah, grow a garden. I've been meaning to,
potatoes. Lots of potatoes.
Yeah, potatoes, easy stuff the varmints don't get. I want to do tomatoes. I'm sick of store-bought. Nothing like a fresh tomato. But my wife told me that the squirrels get those too, so I'll have to, I don't know. We've been meaning to do a greenhouse forever, and it's just a pain to do, so.
But you don't have to do a large greenhouse.
Yeah, I'd want it about 12 foot by something, 12 by 10 at least.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
No, it's just another project I don't need right now. So, yeah. Yeah, so crazy. Tomato squirrel popping videos. yeah. Watch me hit all the tomatoes and the squirrel gets away. That's how it's gonna work. Yeah. They didn't bug potatoes, onions. We still have strawberries, even though they'll eat those. Same with the birds. I don't know. I got to grow easy stuff they don't like. It's all the stuff we care about and they like it. We even had a nice watermelon, and I said, let's let it get nice and ripe. And the day before I pulled it out of there, someone chewed a gnaw on that watermelon. I was pissed. The watermelons grow good here, so that pissed me off. The other option is just to annihilate all the squirrels in the area. So we got a big one. We got a big one out there right now, huge. So I don't know. And you were talking about wind. We had a little garden shed. That thing blew apart. The doors blew open. Everything's ripped apart. Got to build a garden shed. Did I say Hobby's Hobo was here? Okay, he's got a question for you or something.
And the Model 61 going today. 057-122 and the 44 Elmer Keith and zinc. Cool deal. Not Broke Loader's having fun with his zinc too.
All right, sounds good. Elmer Keith Zinkers. Yeah, Kenny Eagle Eye did some Elmer Keith. Were they hollow points in zinc? And got them screaming at lever action.
Yeah.
I mean, screaming.
Yeah, that was the 44 he was shooting, right? Yeah, he was like he wasn't even sure what to really expect out of it, I don't think. I mean, he had an idea, but he was surprised.
Yeah, he was. So
he was trying to load them on the hot side. He just wasn't sure where they were going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't shot any zinkers that I would call hot at this point yet. The 3006 I ran up with in the area 32 grains of 4064. I only loaded 5 of them, and I got about at 50 yards because wasn't set up at 50 yards. I probably got a 3/4 inch group out of it, which is working good, but I have no clue how fast they are. Only, but I'm going to buy that whatchamacallit, that chrono, that new one, the little one. So I'm waiting to catch when somebody puts it on sale. That's the only thing I can really use. They don't want a chrono in front of your rifle, when you're out there shooting.
Yeah.
I have the distance from the bench to the stands about 12 to 15 feet. So, I can easily put it there on solid ground, but they don't want anything in front of it.
Yeah, so you're thinking the Garmin, the little square one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend $600 on it because that's just the list price and everybody's getting it.
Yeah.
The market isn't flooded enough with them yet, so I'll wait a little longer. Not that I can't afford to buy that. I just I don't have a real need for it other than saying this is what I loaded it with and here's what the chrono said. That's all. I don't care how fast it's going. I'm shooting for accuracy.
You should see Leon right now. He's laying in a weird position. I tried to take a picture of him, but it doesn't do it justice. He's right next to me right there. He's just in the way he's laying down is weird. I think we take him out to the garage, give him one last hunting chance for the night. Take him out there and see what happens. The big orange. Chrono drop like a rock. The big orange chrono drop like the rock. Are you talking about the radar? Okay. Let's head up to the garage for a minute. See if Leon wants out.
Broke load. I'm going by quick loads. So if their data is anything close to being right,
Go outside. Come on. You want to go outside? Come on, Leon, kitty.
So it.
Come on.
The velocities are, again, I worked up 223 bullet. I forget which one is like 50 and it says it's 55 grain, but it comes out like 59 grains in lead, something like that. It's an RCBS mold. And then I made it slick-sided, so it's a little heavier. So maybe it's 60 grains, and it comes out to like, I don't know, 40 grains, something like that, 44 grains in zinc. And I'm shooting that out of my AR. I'm only running, again, I'm not even sure the powder. I'm usually have to go really look it up. But according to quick loads, I was at about 2,200 feet per second with it. So, hey, it is, Michael.
Michael is here. He's a little bit late. So he was just talking about you earlier, or Andy was. Hey, Michael. Hurt neck.
Good deal, Michael. Just if you have any questions about loading the zinc, give me a text before you pull the trigger, huh?
And then Chico posted a pic from Kyle's wedding, so it's a done deal. Okay. All right. Congratulations.
Did you hear about Chico?
Yeah, I didn't want to talk about it.
Well, we don't have to talk about it. I just wasn't sure if you heard about it.
Yeah, I did. Believe it or not, I still have a grapevine somewhat. And yeah, I did. I just wanted to, let him talk about it.
Yeah, it's all right.
Or someone he says it's okay to talk about.
Yeah.
Chessboard is here.
Michael, the best thing to tell you is, because I can't give you info on the 5.7, you're going to have to kind of use experience there to try to load it. Find the overall length of that bullet. But on anything else, overall length is what the mold listing is in the book. If it's a 180 grain bullet, that's what you do it. The overall length, powder wise, find a bullet that weighs what the zinc weighs, go to about the middle of the powder chart on that and just load a few and try it and see how everything's acting, and then if you have, and then work from there. Some people just start at the weight of the bullet. The actual lead mold is 180 grain on the 300 blackout, so it's they go to the low end of that and work their way up. Because you're safest that way, because you won't be overcharging it for the bullet weight you got. But basically the way I do it is the overall length of the actual bullet, and then powder by the weight of the bullet, which is 113 grains, whatever it is. You look for something around 110, 115 grain. Jacket bullet and loading them, start in the middle.
And keep in mind on volume, especially the 5.7 volume. Don't want to.
That's why I said the 5.7. The volume of powders on that load is going to be. That's the hard part. The hard part to know. Yeah. Because I'm not sure how far that bullet's going to go into the case. I mean, if you put a bullet in, I guess put a bullet in a blank case and close the bolt slowly to push the bullet in, pull it out, measure it, put it in again, pull it out again, measure it. If it's not changing, then you're not pushing the lands, and start there, or back off 1,000 to 2,000. Mark your case to where the bullet sits, so you know how much your volume level.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I can hear the wind right now. kicking up again. Dust Bowl. Yeah, when I was spraying that printed lower, it wasn't windy at all. So I'm like, I better hurry up and hit this thing. But it's out in the sun and it's warm and it's the best place to do it, other than, having spray blowing all over the place. But it turned out fine.
Did you upload the videos yet?
I didn't feel like doing anything, and I didn't want to do 3 boring videos, so I'm just gonna high speed them, put a little music there, and talk about that at the end, I guess. I don't know.
I don't find any of your videos boring.
Oh, one's pressure washing and talking about electrical versus gas.
Well, that's personal stuff. That's a little different. You're having fun.
Yeah, I'm just running the camera while I'm doing it. And then, things I like about electric pressure washers versus gas. We inherited this one, but man, it's so easy. You don't have to leave it running. Just pull the trigger when you want it on. I still got the hose hooked up to it, even though I turned the pump off, the water, the hose outside off. And it's just too easy. Where a gas one, and I tried to explain this in the video, a gas one, if you leave it running without it going, the one going, you can burn your pumps out. I rebuilt a pump before, and there's a good place for both. And I will say I will get a really heavy duty electric one because it's too damn easy.
Well, my pressure washer now my new one is 2 years old, 3,400 psi. It's a DeWalt, and even when I go out when I hook up the hose,
mm-hmm.
I keep the lever pulled on the gun.
Yeah.
And then I start it and release and go.
Yep. Yep, you'll burn out your pump if it's running and not spraying. So,
right.
Where electric, it shuts off when you let off.
Yep. Yep.
And that's what I really like, just the ease of it. However, the one we have, I got it. My mom passed away, and she had it for years. And it's a little cheapo, I don't know, Karcher or something like that. And it's from Home Depot special, just a little, little homeowner one. It won't take the paint off the walls. But man, it cleans up great. It cleans cars. It does everything. It took so much mud off the bottom of the cars. So there's a place for it. And I thought I like it so much. Next time I'll get one that really, whatever the best one they got out there.
Just keep your eyes on the secondhand store.
Well, that's what I do that's how we got our pressure washers, just ads, someone giving it away, can't fix it, something like that. That's how I got my last one, gas one.
Mold, so much money. That mold hasn't been made in years, so it's hard to find. And it's I only found a single cavity. I've seen a double cavity recently, but no, it's it's in that $50 to $60 range. I got lucky. When I was looking for it was I found 3 of them, and one guy wanted $35. He said it was in great shape, but no handles. I said, okay. Oh no, it had the original handles. I'm sorry, the special handles from way back when, and I got it, and the mold looked like it was never used, but the handles looked like they went through a war. So I have no idea. But Michael, if that bullet shoots good for you, that's what we're trying to test, because I don't have anybody with a 5.7. I mean, I shot it out of a 2.23. It seems to go fine, but I have no need to use it. I have other bullets. I only bought that mold because of something to try, play with. But 35, if you can find, find them. Is the lowest I would seen them, but they're in that $50 to $60 range. I saw one guy wanted $80, and I told him you can keep it.
Are you talking about?
One guy had a 2-cavity version of it, and he only wanted $60 for it, so that was a good price. But I didn't buy it.
You talking about like Lyman molds and stuff?
Yeah, it's an old Lyman. Well, I forget who makes it.
Ideal, Lyman,
I can tell you 1 second.
RCBS.
I just got to find it. Which?
Yeah. I used to snipe them on eBay for like $30, and
It's a Lyman 225450. It's 48 grain. They call it Spira Point. In zinc, it comes out roughly 32 grains, 33 grains. And it's just not out there. It's an old mold. So I mean, whenever I've looked for it, I have seen it. So they're out there. It's just what kind of conditions it in, and that kind of thing based on the price.
yeah, pictures. Yeah, I think you should be able to load a Varmageddon type data and just don't seat the bullet that deep in the case, and you'll be fine with 5.7. Varmageddons are 35 grain. Steam Jennies. What? Steam Jennies are great hot water. What the heck does that mean? Steam Jennies. Yeah. What's a steam Jenny now, Michael? Yeah, so here's the funny thing. I got a million things I want to load on the bench and put targets up, and now I want to shoot all different other stuff. So I'm just everywhere as far as that goes. I should get rid of what's on the bench, shoot that, start with one thing and focus on one thing. But I can't. I got to do 4 different loads at once. And that's what's wrong with the turret press. Tactical Rabbit is here. Oh. Pressure washer with a coil and burner. Oh, is that what he's talking about? Okay, one thing we want to do is hook up a sandblaster to the pressure washer, so you can sandblast and there's no dust, and it works good. And all the sand just goes in the yard. We need sand in the yard anyway. You got to make sure the sand doesn't get wet in the hopper. You got to keep that from getting splattered, and then you want to use the fine sand, not the. You gotta get the right bags of sand, otherwise it's too gritty and all that stuff. Tactical Rabbit is cooking eggs. Okay. I thought Hurtneck was talking about like a steam cleaner or something for like in the kitchen. They were selling the steam cleaners used to be a big deal. You don't have to use any chemicals to clean. What happened to those? I don't know.
I have a steam cleaner. I used it once. Well, let's see if I got an email here. It wants me to forward something to you.
How you doing, bud?
How you doing?
there's just tons going on this weekend. You know, the Masters is on, UFC 300's on right now. There's just so much going on. It's hard to justify going outside, but you got to. One thing I need is one of those hogs, whatever, on the tractor where it just eats up and annihilates everything in the yard. Brush hog. I need a brush hog. Take the bucket off the back. Brush hog and the other one that levels all the ground in the back. What's in? Oh, he's gone.
UJ, I just forwarded you an email from Chessboard. It's about pressure washers, prices and stuff.
A what?
I just forwarded you an email from.
Well, is he a connoisseur on pressure washers or what?
Chessboard. It's the place where you can find all kinds of pressure washers for sale.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm going to wait till this little one craps out. The electrical one, the gas one still works. And I can always rebuild that over and over. But Just Jeff is here. Garage Guy is here. William Gainley is here. Did I say that before? I don't think so. Yeah, box blade attachment and also the hedgehog, the brush hog. The brush hog is we have scrub oak that grows so fast. It's just easier to take the tractor out and just start going medieval on everything out there. The best thing I saw for a tractor, and it's going to be really expensive. I don't think we can do this, but it's a giant hedge trimmer that goes sideways, and you just drive your tractor down the driveway, and it's got these, reciprocating things, just medieval thing, just going all the way down the driveway. That would be so awesome. Because if you hit a rock or whatever, it's got the guards on them. It can't, chew a rock. So I think that would be killer. Come on, Holmes, get up. Anyway, yeah, that was the coolest thing I saw. Be nice to have a tiller on the back end. The problem with the tractor is I either got a snowblower on it, and then the back end's got the hoe, it's got the bucket, and to get that off and put the three-way attachment on the back, I got to put the backhoe bucket somewhere, sitting out, and that's a pain. They not do I? Okay, I'm gonna people that can see the screen can see that reply.
I was wondering if you're going to post that or not.
Yeah, but in the 70s, 60s, 70s, that wasn't a thing. You don't go hedgehogging down there. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know if I want to comment. So, anyway. I don't mind it being all natural down there. Let's see. Sickle bar mower, hydraulic power. Yeah. Well, we have an edger. We were going to turn sideways, a gas power edger, $10 at the thrift store. And it runs and everything, needs carburetor work. But we were just going to take it, instead of edging this way, we were going to turn it sideways. Maybe a little guard on it. It'll be dangerous. And then the other thing is take a rear axle and put a blade on it and just drag that rear axle and it's going to spin, That's probably a little safer, and put that on a quad. But yeah, we need to do something to keep the brush down. DR makes some nice brush tools. Yeah, but it gets expensive. I think the box blade and the hedgehog would be the best. The two things we need. I just wish I could put a hedgehog sideways instead of having to back or drive over, for the sides of the driveway. Because that takes a whole day out there with a portable chainsaw. So, yeah, that's a whole day and not doing anything for 3 days after because your back is killing you. Get a goat. I thought about that, but my son he said no goats. No goats. He doesn't like sheep, and I guess that's close enough. He doesn't like them. I'd love to have some goats just chewing on stuff all day long. And you could put them on leashes where they chew areas, confine them to areas.
Yeah, that's the link I sent you. The email I sent
you. Yeah. Yeah, our gas one is a Honda engine on it. Yeah. But basically, all I need a pressure washer for around here anymore is just for cleaning, So it doesn't have to strip anything down or nothing like that. So.
Yeah, my main purpose for it is I bought one of those, I guess, 16-inch round discs.
Yeah.
Sprayer in it. That's my main use.
Yeah, for driveways and stuff. It just swirls around. That was best invention ever.
And
instead of leaving lines in the driveway.
Yeah, please. Never mind the lines, just how much faster you do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd spend all day doing my driveway, and now it takes me an hour and a half.
Yeah, I saw my neighbor using one. He rented it for the day, and just the attachment. And I thought, wow.
They're only like $60 at Home Depot.
Yeah.
You can buy bigger ones depending on your pressure washer.
Yeah, he used a big one, and I think it cost him about that all day for renting it, or 2 days or whatever.
What, the whole power washer he rented?
No, he rented just the attachment.
What size was it though?
It was pretty big. It looked like a small manhole.
Yes, if you're in a Home Depot or something, go look over in the pressure washer area. They have different size ones, but it's based off of pressure. How much pressure it has. So if you get too big, then it's not going to do the job.
Yeah. Oh, these are funny comments here. Yeah, we can't burn because we'll start forest fires. So you have a very short window of burning. Right now, there's a few fields out there doing a controlled burn for farms, but after a while, then you got to watch out. Yeah. So, how's it going, boy? And that's what, a cover for the computer?
It's half of the tray that holds the motherboard.
Oh, the tray. Okay, he's printing a tray that holds the motherboard. All right. Oh. Yeah, I like printers. Andy, do you have a printer?
No, I don't have one of those.
Here.
They're handy for making
Here's the other half. I've already put the brass inserts in it.
Okay.
Okay,
so that looks nice.
It's
The
just,
new thing
I can't. I'm no good with CAD shit. So if it's
Yeah.
not right, I can't fix it.
Yeah, neither am I. That's why he does it.
And I'm not using any CAD or nothing. I'm just using models off of Thingiverse.
Yeah, he's using just regular models. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, if the model's out there and you download it, and it, but I don't know enough about the printers to change the fill and all that junk. And
Yeah, and if you have a problem and
It
want
depends on your software for the infill and stuff. You can get a program called Cura. It has all those settings.
so I needed something printed, and there's a place online. You send them the design, they give you a quote back. So, and you get it in a week. So it's I did the one or two things that I needed. I mean, it was small stuff, so it was inexpensive. So
Mhm.
it was easy. And he asked, the questions were, how much fill do you want and stuff like that. And I told him, well, it needs to be tough. It needs to handle a little bit of pressure or whatever. And he said, no problem. I'll do a full fill, make it solid. So it was inexpensive to have done. So I just let someone else print it.
Oh, I keep forgetting to say Uncle John is here. He can't show up on the side chat. He doesn't show up, but he's here. I forget that every week. Sorry, Uncle John.
So he should just make a quick handle, Uncle John 3 or something.
He has a couple handles, but I don't know why there's an issue between my YouTube and his emails or whatever. I don't know what it is. So
Might be an IP address thing.
yeah, it's weird.
Mhm.
It's weird. I'm talking like, yeah. So
he's out there watching us. He can hear us. He can see everything, but we can't see him.
correct. Yeah, and he can reply to other people's channels and stuff. It's just something, I don't know. And I've looked and tried to fix and see if anyone's banned, and no.
Maybe he's the Kyle Lust culprit.
Oh, no. No, he wouldn't do that. He's not a techie, so he wouldn't, for sure, wouldn't do that. No, he's not. He's old school, he remembers before when computers were, terrible, little lines and squares and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have a need to print anything. So if I need something, I know about 3 or 4 of you guys that have printers. So I'll hit you up.
Papa's Place is here. Speaking of printing. Yeah. So,
yeah, that's the one chessboard. I think it was 16-inch that I have. But I bought the original one I bought was a Home Depot per se brand, whatever. And I returned it and bought the Ryobi one.
yeah, 6-shooter Texan can tweak programs.
Yeah, 6-shooter. Yeah, he's
And
the machinist. I mean, I don't, I worked in a machine shop for 15 years, but I didn't learn any programming or set offsets and that stuff. I could touch tools off. That was about as far as I went. And then, if they had to tweak it, they tweaked it. I didn't do any of that stuff. But I was more of an operator than anything else. I was the night shift to get more parts done. And they always loaded the problematic tools that would break off, and they always loaded a couple of extra heads and touched them off, and they were ready to go. So if I had a problem, I would just pop the tool head out, pop the other one in, and go back to machining. So.
yeah, as a matter of fact, my son ordered some more filament, different colors, and I said, "Oh, please don't do colors. Black is fine." But he's talking OD or gray, tactical colors, camo colors.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Papa's place been fixing his printer all day.
Yeah.
That's the other side of it that I hear that they're problematic. So, well, we had one at work. I know they paid a lot of money for it, and it was like everything they printed was, the 6 hour run, 8 hour run, all larger things, and every 3 months they'd have to replace the head. It was like ridiculous.
This one's been low maintenance. I mean, we don't pump out something every day, but I do want to try some AR grips and, stuff that, if there's any good designs on the grips. There's a lot of funky stuff out there, but I do want to try that. And I want to try the lower on Mr. Snub. So I painted that. Lower parts kit's coming. We'll try Mr. Snubs without aluminum lower. See how long that lasts. So I don't know. It's kind of fun. Never thought I'd be doing gun stuff with it, but other than accessories. But it's kind of fun for certain things.
I don't have any more time to start something new.
Yeah, as far as Glock lowers and stuff, PSA had a 3-pack of lowers that are so cheap with all the guts in them that there's no way you can compete with that. So yeah, I just pay the FFL fee, So it's hard to compete with that. But when there's something you want to do specifically, like we were playing with Son of Snubs and that, and we said, hey, let's see how light it is with one of those on it. Holy crap, his is light. So.
Well, it's only a 22, so I can't see it not holding up unless there's internal, when it was printed that, there's gaps that formed or air bubbles or whatever.
No, there's no bubbles. It's a full print, but 22, believe it or not, being a blowback can be hard on. I've seen where they broke. I've seen people's hammers that broke from just the bolt smacking it. But that's not so common. But they can be harsh. My worry is,
I think you need to figure out a bushing to go in there for the pins.
My worry is going to be trigger pins and takedown pins.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about the rear end where the buffer tube is because that's beefed up. It's got a rail instead. But yeah, you can print them where they have those beefed up areas up front. Sergeant Bulldog is here. Wow, I haven't seen you forever.
But I would think that would be, you wanted to come up with a nice press fit bushing, for the pins, and that would strengthen it up totally different.
Yeah, but first we're just going to run them and see where they break and what happens, and then adjust for that. Sergeant Bulldog, I hope you're doing okay. It's been a long time. Gunswatter, drop-in trigger packs often don't work with the 22, the blowbacks. And the other thing is, once they get dirty, you got to unpack them. I like the traditional 2 parts. But what we can do is reinforce them from there to there. So you got 2 things instead of independent, and then bushings. We thought about a plate that wraps totally around inside, all that stuff. It's just going to be clearance things. But if nothing happens and you get 5,000 rounds out of them, boom, just hit the printer again, chop that one up. Yeah, and I'm fine with that.
Well, Yeah, you'll find out where the wear points are as you use
Yeah.
it, and that's what you'll have to work on.
But if I can get 5,000 rounds on a 22, I'll just print another one. If I have to spray it again to get rid of that Mattel plastic look, I'll do it again. Even though once I sprayed this one, it still doesn't look like aluminum. You can tell it's printed, of course, but it doesn't look shiny and plastic cheapy. So we'll see. We'll see. It's fun though. I never thought I'd get into that. And of course, you got to watch the legalities. Oh, speaking of which, did you see where they're trying to make a? Actually, we have a month. They're trying to make a nationwide ban on private sales.
Well, no, what they're trying to do. No, you got to really read into the law. They're after the gun show loophole.
Yeah.
If you're selling for profit, well, I paid $500. I'm selling for $500. I ain't making any profit.
Okay, so it's not cut and dry then.
Not really. I mean,
It's just for people. It's for people profiteering, like when they raided that one guy, the FBI or the ATF, because he was just buying hundreds and then selling them at gun shows.
Mm-hmm.
Still, that's America, you know. So
yeah, but he's allowed to sell it at a gun show as long as he's an FFL. That's it.
Well, he wasn't an FFL, and that's why they shot him and killed him and raided his house without a warrant when they didn't need to. They could have gone to his work. They could have done, you know, they're just Gestapo right now. So,
well, yeah, but if the guy was selling these guns in the past for whatever length of time, and he was not doing an FFL call in with the check, then he was breaking the law. It has nothing to do with a new law. He was breaking the law to start with.
Well, yeah, that's how they interpreted it. But if you're a big hobbyist, say you like, you know,
yeah, but you can't sell at a gun show. That's where we got.
You can in lots of states. Yes, you can.
I guess so. Yeah.
I've sold guns at the gun show. Some of my own personal stuff. I wasn't a table guy, but a friend of mine had a table. I went, yeah, I want to get rid of some shit or crap. Excuse the language. And he was pissed because my side of the table sold out first day, and no one was looking at his stuff. But I had good prices on everything. You know, I wasn't profiteering. I was just cleaning the safe. Yeah, but you're allowed to do that. That I don't know. I'll have to look into that ruling. It'll be appealed, but I think we have a month. And from what I heard, no private sales, or it's 5 years in prison. So that's bad. It's not constitutional whatsoever.
No.
Because things back then were sold without paperwork. Okay, so it's unconstitutional, not even close, you know. So we'll see how that pans out. But a guy's got a right to have private sales. And, you know, I have guns from different neighbors and stuff and, you know, whatever. They didn't want it anymore, whatever. Private sales is America, so we got to stomp on that hard. They're going to pull that crap. It's Gestapo crap right now. It's Brandon Gestapo.
Well, it all boils down to the fact if I'm just doing somebody I know when I want to get rid of my 06 and he wants to buy it because he don't own an 06. I mean, I'm not selling it. Who's going to know I sold that gun because it's not registered anywhere? I'm just trying to relate to it. It's like I'm not in the market of buying and selling guns. I own this gun 40 years. I'm done with it.
And say you wanted to trade, you know, just like anything, golf clubs, whatever, tires, rims. Anyway, we got to stomp that one down because that's un-American. So That one just, I was like, what? I woke up to that. It's like every day something is more screwed up than the next day. And I thought, what?
Well, again, that's what they're trying to with Guns and Water out there. If every even a private transfer at an FFL, that's what they want to do away with. Okay, so I don't need to go to an FFL. I'm done. I'm out of the gun business. All right, I understand my pistols they're registered, so I have to bring them to a gun store. They check them in. Now they're theirs. Now they're off my pistol permit. Rifles aren't on any paperwork.
Well,
but if I go to a gun store with a rifle, he's buying it from me and he's selling it used. So that's a whole other thing. But a private transfer, what do I need an FFL for on a rifle?
But what they're getting at is they want to track every transaction, even private sales, and then after that, they're going to keep pushing the limits. After that, they're going to want everything you own registered.
Yep.
And that's bull crap.
I don't own anything.
Okay.
There's no paperwork.
Says the guy that got raided at 6 a.m. and killed.
But he also probably had tons of guns in the house. I mean, there's a little bit different story. He was totally doing it, an illegal deal there, buying 100 at a time and then selling them. I mean, it came out that it did sound a lot shiftier, but whose side of the story is telling that? They could be making it up. Yeah, I know.
The scary part, I watched somebody talk about this. Some video, something. He said the scary part is they can put anything on your computer and say you're going to jail for this. That's how bad the Gestapo can be. That's all I'm saying there. So, like I say, shotgun, groin and neck, shotgun, groin and neck. All right. So, yeah, just something else to think about when they keep pushing the waters and they want you. They can throw anything they want on your computer and bust you for it without you even knowing, had no clue. And I'm sure they've done it. So look at all the Clinton suicides. Just saying. All right. Mm-hmm. Just saying. All right. Is this getting too depressing for people out there? I need to smoke now. I'm getting pissed.
Let's talk about different squirrel.
Where's my shotgun? It's very close. It's very close. There. It was that close. All right. Anyway, sorry, people. I get upset at these things. I'm not used to this. I'm used to kids being able to, it's crazy. Thorzax is here.
100% Guns Water. That's 100% correct. But I go into my local shop and they've always got new used guns all the time. So people are unloading and getting their deal, to, whatever they're getting paid for. I don't know. The gun store by me seems to be, I don't know. The store I used to use before he closed, I had brought my 06 in once. And I asked him, how much would you give me for this thing? And he wanted to give me nothing for it. Okay.
Yeah.
But the new store gave, when this guy said, maybe $250, the new store said, I give you like $600 for it. So he's more legit.
Okay. What we used to do, and it was a really good idea, the last gun shop I worked at, well, the last two were like this. We had low consignment fees for the person trying to sell.
Right.
And the reason we had low consignment fees is it brought in more variety on used guns you can't get anymore.
That's right.
And that brings people to your store.
Yep.
And both of my bosses were brilliant because instead of being greedy, they're like, wait a minute, you bring one person in, you can bring 20 in because they know you got good consignment guns. And they'll have a C on the tag. So everyone that comes in knows it's consignment, it says C on it. And that's what we used to do. And it was actually brilliant. Instead of gouging, and the person consigning is happy, okay, and you have just the fee to do the paperwork, do the phone call, you know.
Yeah.
And that works. So all you gun stores out there, you're screwing yourself by getting greedy. Bring more people in and they'll come, especially the ones that were just on consignments were the surplus guns, the Mausers, all that stuff. People would flock because they knew we had them, because people would bring in and they had a good consignment fee. And they'd call around, they know the prices. So there you go. And then, yes, broke letter. And then they'll buy the ammo and accessories while they're there. And they might even use the range to test it out. And boom, bang, pow. Next thing you know, you got an extra $200.
They need a new carrying case. They
Oh.
want a scope. I mean, who knows what they,
Yeah. Scopes, red dots. Yeah. See it. You can't think like greedy this way. You got to think big picture. It works. So, yeah, you'll find those good stores out there, though. My son has a favorite pawn shop. The guy loves my son, as you can see. Yeah. Oh, trench gun. Well, good luck with that. If it's authentic, oof. Those, those are pricey.
I was, again, in all the years, I was never one to have many, many different guns. Right? Yeah, there was the first gun, which was the Browning BDA. So I needed something that I could carry and whatnot.
I've been looking for one of those. Yeah.
And then the second gun was the Dan Wesson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I was getting into competition right away. Right. And then the next gun was the Hamley 22. Okay. And I was set. I didn't need anything else. Then the 2-inch Chief came along for $50. How could I say no?
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Right. Then I got the Ruger single 6, 22 Magnum. It was used, both cylinders in its original box and stuff. And I paid nothing for it back in the day either. All right. And did I buy anything else after that? What else do I have? That's really it. In pistol, I never needed a 9mm. I never, the only reason why I bought the Ruger PCC for 9mm is because brass is so readily available. There's a million molds to cast your own bullets. Mm-hmm. And that was it.
I get on a magazine kick. Oh, that takes the same magazine and it's threaded. I might as well get it. Yeah.
Well, I can't. I have no thread in New York, so
yeah.
So I don't have that capability. If I did, I would want to pick something unique to make it with a can. But that would be the only new gun if I could do it. But I don't shoot at indoor ranges anymore. I'm only using an outdoor range. I went to a couple indoor ranges over the winter, and it was like, just no. I mean, 50 feet, is the maximum in any of my ranges around here. indoor. They won't let you shoot this. They won't let you shoot that. It's like, oh, give me a break.
Yeah.
So,
And earlier I was talking about private sales. Whenever I did a private sale, because I didn't need that anymore, whatever, I always insisted on concealed permit number. So they had to show me their permit, or when I did that gun show one time, they had to have their badge, their gun show badge. Everyone had to have a badge to buy anyway. You had to be a member. And that way I have documentation. And I have a folder full of what I bought, who I bought it from. I said, hey, I know it's a hassle, but it's just for my own records. Can I have your ID that I bought this from you? And so I kept records. That way I know I'm not selling to a felon or buying from a stolen gun or something. Just to protect yourself. It's a good thing to do.
Tin Man's out there.
Yes. Tin Man is here. Cranky is back.
Yeah, you'll come on when I go off, Tin Man. No problem. About another 20 minutes or so. It just works out that way. Don't ask me why.
Yeah, it sounds good. But I think people have the right for private sales, that's for sure. And just get documentation. I never had a person say, I don't want to show you my permit.
Well, I'm not selling.
I bought this from so-and-so and I put it in my little folder.
Yeah, you know what though? In New York State, I've always lived in New York State. There's always was a pistol permit. All right, so I don't have an issue with it because that's the way it is and that's the way I grew up with it. But telling me I have to put my Ruger PC on my pistol permit is a joke. When I sent it out and got it back,
yeah,
that was like, you're kidding me, right?
Mm-hmm. But it was the only way, especially when I moved. I sold a bunch of guns. I didn't want to bring them here. And it was the only way I could know that person's legit that's buying it. I'm not selling it to a bad guy. And if they have a valid, up-to-date, concealed, and they all understood that, and they all had them, so it was no big deal.
Yeah, the price. Just was talking about price of ammo. Yeah, the 9mm is down to $12 for 50 rounds. I'm getting emails from all the places. 50-round boxes for like $12.99. So yeah, I mean, I don't look at 5.56. I don't buy 9mm either. So, but I mean, 5.56 is still up there.
Yeah, I wish you could buy a case of 308 surplus cheap again. Same with 7.6239. Oh. But yeah, we got to squash that law because most people are sensible. They're I can understand. You got bad guys out there. Of course, you don't want them getting guns in a private sale. Illegals, felons, all that stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, but any honest citizen that's unloading a gun is not going to unload it to somebody he really doesn't know.
Well,
in most cases, in other words, how do you advertise it? So you have a friend that's into guns and you're telling him, and then maybe he has a friend that's into guns and he's interested.
Yeah, but we also have gun sale sites here, local gun sales, where everyone puts their guns up, and a good rule of thumb is to do the concealed. The problem is here, you don't need a concealed permit anymore to carry concealed, so no one's going to have one now. So I can't just I could take their driver's license, but how do I know? So. If I were to sell any guns now, and I might thin the herd a little bit, I'm just going to put them on consignment because I know they went somewhere good. Someone was checked.
Well, that's it. So, But
But
that's
if you're in a state where you have to have it concealed, that's an easy way to know. And that's what I did in
Yeah.
Washington.
well, that's my biggest problem with my handguns is in New York. Okay, is that if I died tomorrow, my wife can't touch them. She doesn't have a pistol permit. Okay, so I have to specifically go to a gun store and like give him like notarized letter from me saying, if I pass, my wife is going to come to you, and for you to come and pick up the guns from my house, and they, that they'll be, signed to you, and then you can sell them, and give her the money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now she would have no idea what to do with my rifles. She has no idea what they're worth and stuff. So it would basically be, I do have a close friend that I've spoken to about. He agreed that if anything happened to me, that he would help Fran out with all my stuff to make sure it gets sold for proper prices, and any of my gun stuff that he would try, my rifles, that he would try to take care of it.
Mm-hmm. Hobbies. I would never, when I did private sales, they never came to the house. No. You meet them somewhere and you're packing. That's how I always did it. It's like, hop in the car, let me see your concealed permit. It's like, okay, check it out. You like or no? We're out of here. Yeah.
Yeah, cranky, dumbass states.
Yeah. But just for safety's sake, it's always good to have a backup. I know somebody, he passed away now, but he traded a gun in at a gun store to get a different gun. He traded in a Walther PPK or something like that. And it turned out it was stolen. So he trades in the gun, and then it shows up as being a stolen gun because he bought it privately. And then he got a call from the ATF on the phone, and this was in Washington. And he said, "Yeah, you traded in a gun. The gun store, when they did the paperwork, when they do a consignment, they write down everything, and it's reported." And they said, "All right, all we want to know is who you got it from." And he goes, I didn't keep records of it. I don't know. And, the best I can tell you is about the date and everything. And they said, okay, that was it. They just wanted to follow the trail of the felon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But he never, nothing happened to him. They just said, okay, thanks for let us know.
Yeah, but it was, how long ago was that?
Oh, that was years ago.
That's what I'm saying. So it wasn't a problem back then. Today, forget it.
And here's the problem is, if you're a gun store or a pawn shop and you take something in and you have paperwork on it, it's reported to whether it's your local PD or whatever, and it comes up stolen, the shop or the pawn shop eats the price. They eat the money because they give the gun back to the owner, supposedly. So you eat it. And that's why pawn shops sometimes won't give you, they're not going to give you a top price. They have in the back of their mind, we might have to eat this. So bear in mind that when someone says $200 when it's worth $350. They know if it comes back stolen, they're eating it. They have to give it to the police. It's evidence.
Yeah.
And that's why they take your ID when they do a pawn, because they got a trail. And that's how they found the guy I knew. So even though his was a gun shop, which actually had consignment paperwork instead of pawn paperwork. And I'm talking power tools and everything. So a pawn shop, if it comes in stolen, something with serial number, anything, they'll eat it, and it goes back to the police for evidence. That's why you pay a little more, or you don't get it. You don't get as much. Yeah.
There's some real stupid laws out there, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's true, Fuzz. I said earlier there was never paperwork back in the day. Constitution on any firearms. So I think I have some that don't have serial numbers because they didn't have to put serial numbers on the guns.
Yeah, when they were made back
Up until, what was it, the 50s or something? They didn't have to have serial numbers. So some guns don't have serial numbers on them. And so on the paperwork, you write no serial number. In a sense.
Be right back.
Okay, nothing about these BS games. Thor's, yeah, you were talking about $79 a case. That's what my 76239 cost. Even the copper stuff. It's copper jacket. So I wish those days had come back. And then the 308 I got came in nice polymer blocking boxes, big, huge bins. And my cat's buried in one out front. That came from Washington at a gun show for 308 ammo in battle packs. Someday when we're gone, someone's going to dig that up and go, what the hell? There's a cat in an ammo box. Oh well. It'll be a mystery to them. HIPAA is here. Good to see you, HIPAA. Tactical Rabbit 308. Yeah, we got to stomp on these really stupid laws. So you put your foot down, you're like, no, it's not okay. This is not okay. So, and fight back. They can't just keep going, door to door with millions of people. It's not going to work that way. So if people fight back for their rights, it's going to be a hassle for them. All right. Yeah, those days are gone now. I just, let's see the primers come back and we're good. Primers, material, copper, lead. Bring back the lead mining plants. So, Civil War movie. No. I don't watch, I really don't watch any new movies, so they have to be old enough to where they're on cable or YouTube or whatever before I watch them. Haven't seen a new movie forever. So, Andy, I hope one of these chats, I'm going to ask you the question. You're going to say, yep, I got out to the range and blah, blah.
Well, I did pop another round in the basement.
No.
but like 2 grains of powder behind a wad cutter. It shoots, it ejects.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, I'll get there. It's normally, in most times, it's May before I get out. In mid-May, before the weather really like clicks and makes up its mind which way it's going.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm going to have this smoke and then I'm getting out of here. The wife's in bed already. Cleaning lady tomorrow. Got to get up early. Her brother-in-law has been coming to my house doing spackling. He's doing a nice job, but he's kind of slow. So I don't know. That it's going to wind up costing me probably the same amount if I hired somebody to come in and do it, than this guy coming in for 4 hours on Saturdays. Doesn't get a lot done. I should go to a pro, see what they want, what they'll charge me to come in and spackle. I'll paint. Painting's not the problem, it's the spackling.
Damn, it seems like a lot of spackling goes. It might be time to skim coat.
Well, I'm the original owner of the house. It's 24 years now, I guess. 26 years now. And it's getting time, another year maybe, and I got to put a roof on. And, and we never painted the house since we moved in. And it's because I got cheated when the house was built, the way he did everything. When more excited about getting into my brand new house built for me, that you overlook things that you normally would see. So
yeah.
So my thing is when I had in end of 96, I contracted this builder, and he gave me some properties to take a look at it, pick the property. We signed all the papers, gave him the deposit money and whatnot, and down payment, whatever you want, whatever is done. And he didn't own the property. It took him a year to get the property. And from the end of 96 to the end of 97, that's when the building materials went off the roof. Prices went up. So the 25, 30 grand he was going to make on my house, he lost in the cost of building materials. So he skimped where he could. So the first step was the house was being built during the winter. I mean, the foundation was poured before we had freeze, so I wasn't worried about that. When he was building the house, he never turned, when they closed it all in and they put the sheetrock up, from that point on, they had no heat. He never turned the heat on. So instead of getting a complete 3 coats of spackle, let's say, I got 1.5, one heavy and one skim. Okay, and it never dried right because it was cold. So all the seams where the metal corners are, where the metal meets the sheetrock, you got the crack. Okay. Because he didn't go far enough. It was just the first 6 inches. It was all that got coated. It didn't get feathered out. And you could see it. But it's brand new painted. You don't notice it the same as when it gets a little dingy looking. All right. And when he painted, he didn't have the heat on either. So all the paint is like chalky. You put a piece of painter's tape on it, take it off, the paint comes with it. Okay, so instead of dealing with it at like, say, 10, 12-year mark, the house should have been settled by then. I waited because I really didn't have the money to put into it. I was taking care of other things. And so now it's, times have changed. Of course, price of everything's up. I have no choice. My wife says, just leave it the way it is. I can't. It just looks like shit. I'm sorry. I mean, so he's working. This is the 5th weekend to do 3 bathrooms. Bathrooms are small and tight space, so I understand. And there's a lot of corners and nooks and crannies.
Wow.
So there's a lot more for him to do. But he has only 2 spots left in the master bath to do 1 more coat to get rid of the little dimple from where the screw was. And he started today in the master bedroom, the 1 window frame. It's a big window, so it's 3 windows wide. Anyway, he did that. The first 2 coats are on it already. Okay. Plus he worked in the bathroom all day, sanding everything. So he got a lot accomplished today as far as how much spackling was done in prep work. I think now he'll go faster because he's in open spaces.
Yeah.
So next week, he's going to finish the dimples in the bathroom, check final sanding, and then continue in the bedroom, and then move on to another corner out. Then now we're going to go out into the hallway. The moment the master bedroom is ready, sanded and ready for paint, then we're going to prime everything, prime all the spackle joints. Okay. And then the following week, we'll paint the color. So it'll be 3 bathrooms. It's two full baths and 1 half bath. So it's just giving you a size. But the master bathroom is fairly large and a lot of corners and stuff. So that's what's taking a lot of time to film the spackle. It's tight space. You're working in tight quarters. Part of it. And now I'll find out if I was right that he's going to go much faster with the things that just straight up and down, boom, the corners, and so we'll see how fast the next few weeks go, and again, if once it's sanded and done and he's moving on, then it's a quick prime, and then when we get a big enough area, that'll get painted, and then it's just moving on 1 step at a time. And the paint's got to be 2 coats, not 1. So,
yeah, otherwise it'll flash.
Well, I would do. They do sell the 1 coat stuff, but
yeah,
it's more expensive because it's thicker paint, so a gallon doesn't cover as much and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, and unless it's really flat, your walls or whatever you're doing, you're going to see flashing from where it's soaked into a patch versus shiny underneath.
Right. So, but the bathrooms are going to be done in a semi-gloss or whatever whatever semi-gloss. Because there's 2 different glosses they paint in bathrooms. I want to be able to at least wipe it down a little bit. Bathrooms need that more.
Yes.
The rest of the house is just going to be flat, but the whole house is going to be 1 color, period. I'm not making 2 color ceiling and walls different. I'm going very light gray. It's when if you hold a white card next to it, then you'll see the difference. But if you don't, it looks white. So just to get away from straight white. And we'll see where it goes. I mean, that's all I can try. I mean, I'm trying, once we get to the painting, because I can't spackle to save my life. I mean, I can sand it, and I can paint it. But once we get the spackling going and I can start painting with them, then obviously it'll go quicker. So anyway, it's about that time for me. I got to cut out of here. I hope somebody pops on.
Yeah, otherwise we're done, but that's okay. I got UFC 300 going, so yeah, a little tip for people out there. If you have white walls and I don't know if you're using a lightweight spackle or taping mud or whatever, but a good tip is, say you're going to color your walls anyway. You got white walls. Say you're sticking with white. Well, you got white walls and you got white patch. okay, the lightweight patch, that you use. You can add water to it. It's alcohol based.
Yeah.
A nice tip that I like to do, and I blasted through my basement, is get some color tint and just slightly tint it close to the color you're going to paint the wall, and you'll see them.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than rolling a wall and seeing a patch you missed, sanding.
Yeah.
And you'll see them. You can't miss them. And then you just go corner to corner and work your way around and don't go here and there, and boom, you're not going to miss a thing. Just tint your lightweight patch, and it doesn't affect anything or sanding. And it only takes like a hair of a drop to do this thick in the container. Okay. So there's a little tip.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. It's still going to look a hell of a lot better than it looks now, even there's a few splotches here and there. But again, most of the house is only the corners. All right. The bathroom, because of moisture, you get that. That's where he didn't use many nails. It was all screwed, but they, to get up, and they tack them in place of like 4 screws or something. 4 nails. Mm-hmm. So those are the ones that are popped. Okay, the screws haven't popped. So so there's not that many of them. He seems to be doing a good job. I can't feel it where he sanded. I can't feel anything. We are going to prime it. Maybe I'll tint the primer.
Well, I don't know what he's using, but you can just use 2 coats of paint, same thing. So you don't have to do this and that.
Well, we are going to use the primer is the 1 coat primer. Okay. So, and it's got color block. Well, I don't want to say color block. It's stain hider. It's a stain hider and all that stuff.
Yeah. Stain sealer. Yeah.
Okay. Not that I have stains, but the walls. There are spots where the walls are darker from the cigarette smoke and whatever. And I had 2 roof leaks. Okay, and those areas are darker. They're not moldy. They're just from the watermarks. So, that's that's what they reckon. There was this girl at Home Depot. She really knew her stuff. She was young too. Maybe she was 28 years old.
Yeah, and if you do have raw sheetrock drywall patch, gosh, I went brain dead. Its sealer will adhere better, so it'll pass tape tests and things like that, because it's better than just 2 coats of paint if it's raw sheetrock. Taping mud. If it's raw taping mud.
Yeah, so we're gonna prime everything, where it was spackled, and it might even get 2 coats of primer. I don't know. See how it looks. I'll see how the primer works. If I don't like it, I'm seeing through it, then I'm going to paint it again with primer. But I'm going to be using a 4-inch roller and just going over, down the wall wherever the patches are, to the whole strip, so it's blended with like one color, not light and dark down the wall. And hopefully that'll take care of it. It is what it is. It's I'm not. I have a guy down the block. That's what he does. They do spackling. That's what he does. That's what he does for profession. His house is gorgeous, but he says, "Yeah, no problem. I got my son. My son will come over on the weekends and do it for you. Don't worry about it. We'll give you a good price." Yeah, okay. What's a good price? I don't know.
All right. Good night, Tactical Rabbit 308.
I'm paying this guy $30 an hour.
Ooh, wow.
But he works for somebody. He's not a freelancer. He's a Spanish guy. He works for somebody. He gets $32 an hour, but he's on the books. And he said 27. I said, I'll give you 30 if you do a good job. Okay, and I've been paying him $30 an hour, and I bought the supplies. He ain't buying the supplies. But I bought a 5-gallon bucket of mud. We haven't used a quarter of it yet. So, You know, he's doing a pretty good job. He's working fairly neat. Okay, the sanding is obviously the part where it gets dirty. But as far as the spackling go, there's no shit, nothing on my floors or splotches thrown on, on the wall or anything like that. He's been clean. He's working it. He's covering the whole bathtub up with it when he was working above the bathtub. Yeah, one of those jacuzzi bathtubs.
And you have a cleaning lady, and you can just tell her what.
They're related. They're related.
Okay. All
You
right.
missed it. I said it was my cleaning lady's brother-in-law.
Because she comes in, there's dust everywhere, and you just go, what? No, okay. She knows.
She knows, okay. And in other words, he did a lot of sanding in the master bedroom, and I vacuumed most of it up. But tomorrow she's going to come in, and she'll have to spend an extra 10 minutes in the bathroom wiping everything down. That's all. She's good. She gets taken care of too. And she's getting $30 an hour for cleaning my house. Okay, so she comes in for 5 hours. Actually, I give her $140, and it's 4.5 hours about. And she's always here. She's never once called me and said I can't make it. That's 1.5 years already. So
I'd love to have a cleaning lady.
I mean, this is not her profession. She works at work with me, and I had somebody at work before her, but she started getting greedy.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I live far away, and price again. I says, look, that doesn't. You go tell that to your boss where you work now. You're 10 miles difference from your job to my house. This is that. I said, so don't give me that crap. I said, I can't blame, I'm not blaming you for asking for more money, but when you started working for me, you were at $22 an hour. Now you're 30. And that's 1 year later. That's a pretty good raise in a year. All right. And then you keep asking for more money, and I keep giving you stuff too on top of it. It's like I said, anything I want to that we're going to get rid of, that's good. I'm talking about, like old bedspreads, things like that. Because if you want this stuff, it's yours. And so she took home curtains and all kinds of stuff that when we changed it out and stuff. And she like, you don't care. I just gave you $1,000 worth of shit. You still want more money? This lady, I just bought new computers here, mine and the wife. I bought her a new computer. And I took her old computer and went back to the store with it to see if they could help me out for memory. And we have some, they had some older memories, so I could get the memory up in the computer and whatnot. It's a 8-year-old computer. It's Windows 10. Works fine. It was just slow. So the memory took care of business. But I decided to format and reinstall Windows on it and just put on a few things that she would use. And I put it all together. I just told her Friday. I told her, remember I mentioned something about a computer to you? He says, yeah. I said, it's ready for you to take. And she was like, she couldn't stop hugging me. It's like, it's what's it worth to you?
Yeah.
So and at Christmas, I give them a nice bonus and everything else. So, you can help yourself to the refrigerator, drink all you want. You want to cook, you want to make eggs or something, go ahead. Enjoy yourself. So, Anyway, let me take my pills and go to sleep. So we'll catch everybody next time. Everybody have a great weekend. Have a good week.
Okay. Thanks for coming on, Andy.
Keep your powder dry and make sure you're loading up a lot.
All right. Take care. Be safe, Andy.
Take care, everyone.
It's a jungle out there. Be careful. All right, Thorzak's. Yeah. Well, my reloading room's a utility room. It was just stud insulated walls, no sheetrock. So I wanted a reloading room right now. So yeah, I apologize for the texture on the walls. So all I did was skip trowel it. So if you guys know what that is, You got your taping mud. You got a big trowel this big. Dab, 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 skim. Dab, 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 skim. Once you tape the joints. And that way I didn't have to sand and mess with nothing. And just shot it with paint, rolled it, done. Boom, bang, pow. So yeah, it's hideous. I don't like it. Doesn't match the house. Our house actually has smooth walls. I mean smooth. Not right here. This is basement. Upstairs is smooth walls, sprayed. Yeah, it looks like glass. Yeah, not glass, but no texture, no nothing. But it's going to get a repaint, so that's not happening again. So I'm not going through that. I brushed a mansion once. Hand brushed the walls. Oil base. 3 coats. Mansion. I'm talking huge. Huge. 100 of these houses. Anyway, didn't like that, but it looked nice. It looked killer. All right, Tin Man's not showing up, so everyone have a good one. I appreciate you guys in the live chat, and we'll see you next week. So, love you guys. And until next time, maybe. Thanks for watching. Wait a minute.